Hi everyone, Beth here. Here we're going to go over the solution for assignment 2 for Grow and Field, which was accounts payable. Okay, so for assignment 2, the first thing we needed to do was complete the activity for chapter 5. And as I'm sure all of you have discovered by now, the activity walks you through how to use the new module in Sage. And then once we get to the assignment portion, no longer does it give you the instructions on how to do it. And that's why that is the assignment portion. Okay, so for this one here, we had to complete transactions 35 to 44. So from May 22nd to May 31st. Okay, there were a couple of hints in here for you. Okay, so I find some individuals are struggling with the required. Okay, so you need to create your PDF forms directly from Sage. So any journal entries that have been downloaded in Excel first will not be accepted. Those are the only ones that I've seen so far from several people that have downloaded to Excel. It doesn't print out properly, and if you were working for an organization and the auditors asked you to send them the journal entries directly from your report and you downloaded them in Excel first, where Excel is manipulable, they would wonder why you're actually doing that. So one thing about an accounting system, as I'm sure you've all noticed by now, once you've entered an entry, a journal entry, it can't be deleted. It can be reversed, and it'll show in the corrections, which is why I need the corrections, but it can never disappear completely. It's kind of like social media. So we need the trial balance on the 21st. So that would be the trial balance at the end of the activity. And for the activity, I gave you the journal entry so you can check all of your entries, and I gave you the trial balance. So the trial balance you submit to me should be exactly correct. So if it's not correct, you should go back and fix your errors. Then I ask for the trial balance for the end of May, balance sheet, and supplier's age summary. But back to the journal entries. So when I ask for May 22nd to May 31st showing corrections, that's exactly what I want. I don't want all of your entries for the month. I just want for that period. And then it has some questions. Okay, so let's go back and look at the solutions. Okay, so the solution I have uploaded down here at the bottom, just under where you submitted your assignment. And download it. Okay. So your journal entries for this one was worth 10 points because there were 10 journal entries. For the next one, the trial balance. So as long as it didn't have any errors in it, and again, you had the solution key, so there shouldn't have been any errors. But if you got updated and had errors, even if the number was off by $10, there was an error in there somewhere that needed to be fixed. Your trial balance for May 31st, as long as it was the required report, you got, and the required date, you got full points for that. So you didn't lose any points if you had an error in your journal entry. Your balance sheet, same thing, as long as it was dated May 31st. Your supplier age summary, as long as it was dated May 31st. The first question, how much does Grow and Fields owe its suppliers on May 31st? So this amount could have come from two different spots, and the two different spots obviously should match. You'd get it from your supplier age summary, and you can get it from your balance sheet. How much does Grow and as long as you gave me the amount from your balance sheet, it was correct. Or your supplier age summary, I didn't expect you to get the right answer, just the answer from your report. So if you had an error in your reports, you still got full points if you told me the amount that you had on your reports. Same with the HST, it showed on the balance sheet. I'll show you that in a minute. And the final question was, give a reason why a company would use the supplier age report so that they could see what was due to their suppliers and when it was due, whether it was late or it was on time. Okay, here's your trial balance. Trial balance dated May 31st. Come down here to the balance sheet. Again, balance sheet May 31st. And you can see here, here's the accounts payable. So that's the amount that's owed to suppliers. We've got HST charged on sales minus HST paid on purchases to give the amount owing, which was $10,510.90. Okay, so then now this amount owed to suppliers. So as long as you put all of your accounts payable information through the actual accounts payable module and didn't do it as a journal entry, those two amounts are going to match. So 9,850 cents will come down here. As you can see, 9,850 cents. Okay. So for the journal entries, most of them were pretty straightforward, and most of you did get them correct. There were a few errors. There were a few individuals that got this one wrong, the one for the payroll. A few of you added those two amounts together to give either wages or salaries, $8,900. Or actually, I think a couple of you actually missed the salary amount and just had the wages. Which other ones? This one here for authorized withdrawals. Interest expense actually needs to go to the expense account, not against the amount that's owed. So it was very clear in the sheet how much was interest, and that amount does have to go to interest expense so that it hits our income statement as an expense. I was very lenient with this one here based on inventory. So as long as the actual inventory accounts, so the 14s, 1400s, the 13s, the fertilizer, the plant care, as long as those were all reduced by crediting them, and then some combination of the cost of goods sold, soil treatment expense, and supplies expense. So again, different people had different amounts in different areas, which was fine. I gave it to them. And we do have a module on inventory coming up in a couple of modules time. All right, and then most of you got the final entry correct. Okay, if you have any questions, just let me know, and we can go over any errors that you made that you're not sure why you lost points. Thanks, everyone.